Day forecast.
Tomorrow, minimal rain chances in metro Atlanta, only a 20% chance of rain, but it will be hot and humid as temperatures climb to the upper 80s. And although the chance of storms is low, anything that pops could be strong to severe. Across far northeast Georgia, we have a level 2 risk of severe storms. Could see strong damaging winds, heavy rain, lightning, and even hail. But again, I do expect most of the metro to be dry, but it will be very hot. High temperatures around 88 degrees in Atlanta. With the humidity, it will feel even hotter with temperatures in the 80s pretty much the entire afternoon. In fact, we'll already be in the low 80s by lunchtime. On Tuesday, we do have a first alert weather day, but not until Tuesday night. During the day Tuesday, it will be dry. Waking up in the morning, not expecting any rain and storms, still dry at lunchtime. Then after 7 p.m., we have a first alert weather day. A very strong cold front will move in, bringing the threat of severe weather. Could see strong damaging winds, large hail, heavy rain and lightning, especially across northwest Georgia, where we do have that level 2 threat of severe weather, a level 3 threat even further to our north and west. So certainly we'll be watching very closely for any severe storms. This will be happening late at night after many of you are in bed. So a good reminder to download the free Atlanta News First Alert weather app. It will send an alert directly to your phone if a severe thunderstorm is approaching your area. Once that system moves out, big drop in temperatures, which much lower humidity to end the work week.
Looking good.